Come on in, I'll show you my shop. As you can see, my shop is in my home. This is where I do the majority of my creating. I've got some high-tech equipment, sewing machines. That sewing machine does 1,500 stitches a minute. This room will do a lot of marketing, a lot of business. You know, I've got a lot of website development and all that. This was redone by my father many years ago. I grew up in a family that my mother quilted all her life. This antique sewing machine is from the 1940s, and it still works to this day. But I'm very thankful I have the high-powered one over here to help me. She passed before my business started, which was 13 years ago. And I always think to myself that she would probably wouldn't be too thrilled that I was doing it all by machines. But, you know, hand quilting is just not very profitable. But I have quilts upstairs from her, and all my siblings have quilts from her. So it was just, I grew up with it. I made my two sons t-shirt quilts from their garments that I had saved when they both graduated from high school. And I posted it to Facebook, social media, and I'm not kidding you, within about 25 minutes, I had about 20 orders. And that weekend, I created a website. And now my website, you know, I've been really lucky. Over the years, my website it's my baby. I take care of it every day almost. You know, I quality content, I upload pictures. When I first started, I really didn't know what I was doing with web development, but it's web development is a skill, and it's a skill that I actually like. I love getting all the pictures. Here's my homepage. It's Welcome to Memory Quilts by Molly, and you can see all of the. That was a very large order. That was a 6 quilt order for a family, and those are in fact memorial quilts. There's my mother and father. There's my mother, and that's my daughter, Rachel. This is a quilt that hangs in my daughter's bedroom that my mother made. And if you look, it's all hand done by my mother. It's a pattern that has been in the quilting world for a very long time. Like if you talk to quilters and you say Sue Bonnet, they will know exactly what this is. That's the modern style. That's a block style quilt. It's cotton shirts, it's flannel shirts, it's golf shirts. And you know, let's face it, the older you get, the less rock and roll t-shirts you wear. There's my premium one that my mother would love. It's the Friendship Star Sashing. And this woman sent me these beautiful, I guess they're little bed covers that the dog laid on. This is a hanky quilt that was made with a grandmother's hankies. Those are ties. These are holiday napkins that the mother just prided herself on. And she would set a table that was more beautiful than anything you've ever seen. The initial consult is very important. You know, some of them are very emotional, and I tell them to just take their time, and we go through it. And, you know, about 30, 45 minutes later, I always say to them, their work is done, and mine begins. I like the fact that people trust me with their valuables. It takes your breath away sometimes. Like in the beginning, I was afraid. Everything slows down. Everything gets turned off. I better be doing, you know, a proper job. I do whatever it takes to get the quilt as custom and as memorable as I possibly can. You're here. How are you?
Good.
Come on in. Come on. And I can't wait for you to see the quilts. They turned out.
I can't wait to see them. I've been very anxious since you sent me.
Here's the first one.
Oh.
I know.
Look at that. That's perfect. Yeah.
And remember the special shirt you needed for the.
Yes.
Yes, right. Was that the shirt he always wore?
Yeah, I mean, he was a big-time sports fan, so anything sports-related, especially of Phillies, he was very much into. We took a family trip to Disney, in fact, like 2 months before he died. And so I tried, and we had family shirts made. So I had one of those are in each of them. So that was something I was very glad that I did, because obviously we didn't know that was going to happen 2 months later. Because it'll be 3 years in June. Okay. So the first year I was like, forget it. Then last year I just couldn't get it together to do it for Christmas. So this year I said, I'm going to do this.
You think they're going to like it?
Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah. I know my youngest daughter has no idea it's happening. and she will probably cry.
I hope they bring your daughter's comfort. I really do.
Okay.
Take care now. Okay. All right. And this is how many Memory Quilts by Molly orders come. They come in the mail, and this is filled with garments that will be turned into a quilt. Hockey jerseys are amazing, but they're very difficult to work with because they're so big. Oh, that one needs to go in the middle. Beautiful. And after several years of doing it, you kind of get a feel for, color is important. You got to make sure that the colors pop. And when this is all laid out, I then send a picture to the client. For me, when I was like, wow, I have impacted that person. That is very gratifying for me. Very gratifying. If that keeps getting handed down and handed down, it truly does become an heirloom of the families. There's fabric that she collected over the years. And here's the beautiful powder blue backing that shows her hand stitching just beautifully. If you look, that's incredibly difficult to do that straight. But yeah, so that's what I just saw this. It says my name, Molly. Oh my gosh, I recognize this. This probably was a tablecloth of ours from my youth. I might have to start displaying it again.
I got to move this car out to get that car out. Then I have to open up the hood because I have the battery tender on it because I don't use the car every day. And the car should start strong. I've owned 4 Rivieras in my life. The first car was stolen. The second car, I blew it up trying to go fast like I did in the first car. The third car I sold to my cousin in Maryland, and then I bought this in 2002 when I first moved to Pennsylvania, and I've had it since. All right, let me tell you a couple of things about this car. Rocker switches. They usually don't have them on dashboards. You got the Riviera emblem on the side of this side and that side on the sails. This is my air conditioning unit. These are my vents. You got Riviera here. Then you got Riviera here. Riviera by Buick. A double ashtray because back then everybody smoked. But I drive like this because I drive it like a race car. This is how I drive. I got like the Brooklyn Lean. I drive like this. With the children, I had to videotape a lot of stuff growing up. So what I did was I made myself an index. In here, I have all my picture albums. Each one of these albums is dated, like this is 2006. But there are hundreds and hundreds of pictures. They go all the way back to 1977. That's a long time. That's a lot of albums. A lot of money, too, developing pictures. This is my brother. Here we are on the back deck of my house in Pennsylvania. That's my son. Here's my brother driving the car. I've had it up to 131. The only reason why I didn't get to 140 was because I ran out of highway. And then him, too, ran out of road. They got the car up to 104. They got it up to 104 miles an hour. The car goes, man. There's a lot of pickup on that car. I got to get these DVDs somehow on some kind of hard drive so that they could be preserved, because eventually they're just going to go bad, or you're not going to have a machine that's going to be able to operate them and see them. My brother's gone, so all his stuff, I have a whole file of him. That stuff, we'll just keep it on the computer too, because he's not around to share it either. I like driving. I've always liked driving. I'll drive anywhere. I don't want to get on a plane, but I'll drive anywhere. But the other thing is, I like owning things that I make use of. And the worst feeling for me is when I want to do something with something that I had, and now I don't have it anymore. I feel like depressed. I can get it up 60, 65, 68, 70. But there's a car in front of me, so I gotta slow down. This is what happens. You need a long road, man. You need the German Autobahn. If I was going to get rid of this car, I wouldn't get rid of it because I was going to get something else. I'll never get rid of this car because I have a history with this car. I've owned this car, this particular style car, since I was 18 years old. There are so many guys I'll see at car shows, and when they say to me, you know, when I was a kid, I drove this car, I wish I had that car today, I'm one of the few guys that can say, I still got that kind of car today. This car will be with me for as long as I'm around, and then when I'm gone, my son will have it. As a matter of fact, if my son had a house with a garage, he could have it right now. You know, time keeps moving forward, but your memories will always go back to what you experienced, what you remember, and what you enjoyed. Every time I get in it, it brings me back to when I was 18. And it was great to have all your friends in the car at the same time. I used to get it well over 100 with them in the car all the time. Everybody would say, go faster, go faster. Nobody ever had to tell me twice. That, you know, it's all a memory. It's how you store your memories. I store them so that I could see them. That's important to me. And it's important to my children.
Oh, I remember it very well, very well.
Barn red with yellow shutters, right?
So this is where the story began. Denise was 5 years old and just started kindergarten. And we didn't have any extra money.
I could think of 1,000 memories. How do you narrow down a memory in this room? My whole entire childhood was in this room. I had all those bookcases filled with books and all different nonsensical stuff that you collect.
Anything that I've done here or in the other room, Grandma was the designer of it. She'd say, okay, here's what I want, and then I'd have to try to figure out how was I going to do it, you know, and this was the best I could do at the time, and it actually worked out pretty good. We had a lot of dinners here.
Yeah, a lot of dinners here. And this was where the house ended. There was a window here.
And we used to have like our entire family here, my aunts, my cousins, my grandparents, and you know, you made it work. So, I mean, even though it looked small, she managed to make a dinner for 25 people.
Yeah, I think Janet loved the outside more than she liked the inside, I'll be honest with you.
I like the garden.
She spent
Just
more.
look at my Annabelles.
We had to get a shed to accommodate all of Janet's gardening activities.
And now I have to leave it behind.
That's her heaven. That is heaven to Grandma.
I remember sitting right here on this step, and my father was sitting right here, and he told me that Skippy had gone to heaven. And so that was just very, very serious, because I was never allowed to have a dog until I got married. So he was like my dog. I don't know, it's just gonna be, you know, very sad, but very happy. I'm gonna miss it. But you know, my parents are gonna have a really good time in the new place. Make new friends and that.
All right, let me make sure. Okay, 52 years. Wow. Hard to believe. But it's been good. All good. Okay. Chop, chop, time to go.
Love the plain steel wheels with the hubcaps. We got a nice look inside the cockpit. No console between the bucket seats, but that pistol grip shifter, commanding presence of its own. No console needed on this one. $2.8 million.
I just wanted to take it for a ride, just a quick one around the block, but I kept going. Everything was fine. We were cruising up the road here, and then it just...
Pop the hood open. Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
What? What is it?
Sound that you heard coming in? Hear that?
Yeah?
That's a rod knock. That's metal on metal contact where there shouldn't be, deep inside your engine. When that happens, well, it's only a matter of time.
Okay, well, what do we need to do to fix it then?
I'm not in the business of fixing.
It could be fixed, couldn't it?
Sure, but they'll all charge you through the nose, I can tell you that.
You know, I think I need to get a second opinion about this, but thanks anyway.
Son, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, why not?
Because you may not get it going again.
Convenient. What was the good news?
I can pay you for it. $500 cash in hand.
500.
I could tow you and the truck back to where you came if that's what you want. That only cost you $50. But kid, I'm shooting you straight when I tell you, it's better to let it go. Now, think about it. You never know about these things. People mostly come by looking for parts. Others, they'll buy them whole, tear them apart, build them up again. Just like I did with my first truck. Met my wife driving it around. I used to joke that it was the car she fell for, not me. In fact, right before we got married, Grace, she insisted we get the thing blessed. Would you believe it? Half a mile away from the shrine, transmission went. And well,